Hello, everyone. Welcome once again to Talking March Madness. I am Miguel Mike Medina. This is Avery Jones. Avery, how's it going?
It's going great, Miguel. Again, glad to be here. March Madness, Sweet 16. We're going to have some great games. It's going to be great to talk about them.
Oh, yes, we certainly do. And the first one, Michigan State versus Kansas State. And Avery, I'll be honest with you, I'm very indecisive about this one, but I had to go with one team. Only one team can advance. Michigan State, is good on both ends of the floor, and it's a tough matchup. It's an exciting matchup, but it's tough because you never want to bet against Tom Izzo and Michigan State. However, I'm gonna give Kansas State their respect. So I'm picking KSU to win this game by at least 3 points. Even though Michigan State, I feel that their offense is better, but Kansas State has a lot of heart. I'm not saying Michigan State doesn't have heart, but that game against Kentucky showed Kansas State how much heart they have. So I'm gonna give them their respect. This should be a good game. I like this matchup. This game is one of those games that could go either way, but I just have a good feeling that it won't be lopsided. We will have a close game. So I'm going with KSU on this one.
You're right, Miguel. When you look at both teams look evenly matched. Their first two round games, like you said, they showcased how other teams need to see them. Even right now, ESPN is just on the fence. I mean, literally, they're giving both teams literally, a little bit of everything. 49% for Michigan State and 50.6 for KSU. So even, the matchup predictor is too close to call. So, but I see Michigan State coming out of the Big Ten, showing that they're really good on the court. I think their bench depth is going to help them. I still seeing this as being a close game as well, but March Madness is what it is. I'm going for the upset, and not only that, the bright lights of Madison Square Garden are going to, be the key for both teams. Will they shine or will they falter? But I do see this being a close game. I'm going to go with Michigan State on this one, and I agree it's going to be really close. I'm going to say Michigan takes it by a point. I'm going to say really close down the wire, maybe an ending layup, maybe, foul shots are going to come into play. But I think the key for both teams is going to be their bench. Their superstars are going to play, but when numbers need to be called, it's the bench that's going to step up.
I agree. I feel that this game is going to come down to adjustments and coaching. Which coach is going to step up to the plate? I know that Tom Izzo is going to bring it. He's going to be watching the tape. So if I'm Kansas State, I have to bring it. I have to bring it again. So I do like Kansas State in transition on offense. But I won't be mad if Michigan State wins. Like I said, this is a very good matchup. It's a tough one for me to pick, but I had to go with one. So I'm going with Kansas State in a very tight game. And yeah, but we're tuning in for a good one. Now, let's go with the next one, Arkansas versus UConn. I'm going with Arkansas on this one. I'm aware of a good team that UConn is. I just feel that the Razorbacks, after coming back, winning that game in the second round, I feel that it gives them much more confidence, much more momentum to go into this game. And also that game against St. Mary, I believe it was, that UConn played. I don't know. I just wasn't too impressed with UConn in that game. So with that being said, I'm going with Arkansas once again. I have a feeling that they're going to go to the Elite Eight in this game. I could be wrong, but that's just a feeling that I have. I have Arkansas winning this game by at least 4 points.
I agree with you, Miguel. I think Arkansas is running on all cylinders here. Their game against Kansas, probably one of the highlights of the tournament. But you're right. UConn is just they're a bit indecisive. They're a bit topsy-turvy, if you will. ESPN has them at a 66% percentage of winning, but I think that's over exaggerated. I think this should be closer to like the Kansas State and Michigan State game. I think it should be quite even. Arkansas has depth on the bench. Arkansas has their superstars when they need to make the shots, when they need to make the free throws. And you're right, that game against St. Mary's was very undecisive, if you will. If they knew they were coming to play a team, if they were confident in the fact that they had everything going for them, why not utilize that and show that the next team is going to be in for a really great game? I see this being close, but I see UConn maybe winning this by the skin of their teeth. I want to say UConn is going to take this by about 3. But if Arkansas comes back to win this game, I will not be mad. There's something about UConn that they want to prove they're doubters, but still a lot of people are still in doubt of UConn. But I have UConn winning this by 3. I say like 70-67. I think it's going to be a close game I think it's going to be close first half, but then it might run away, but then it shouldn't be close within the last 5 minutes.
I'm going to make one more prediction about this game. I feel that Nick Smith Jr. might drop somewhere between 18 or 24 points against UConn. That's just a prediction there. Now, let's go with the next one, Florida Atlantic versus Tennessee. Another interesting one. I'm pretty sure that this game, a lot of people will be disrespecting Florida Atlantic because people feel like they really haven't earned that praise in the sense that, oof, they being someone tough, whatever, compared to Tennessee. Because to be honest with you, Tennessee did took out Duke, which was a team that was on fire lately in the last 9-10 games. So, but this is an interesting matchup. I feel that, we got to remember that Florida Atlantic did won 33 games this season. So this is not a scrub team. I feel that they could give Tennessee a run for their money. However, I am going to go with Tennessee. What I admire and respect about Tennessee is that, yes, they lost their motor, which was Ziegler in the point guard position. However, I feel that as much as that sucked, but I feel that this injury was a blessing in disguise for the Volunteers, for the other guys to step up and show what they're capable of. And as we saw in that game against Duke, we saw what this team is capable of without Ziegler. So I feel that both teams, the similarity about both teams is that they're playing with a chip on their shoulder. So because Florida Atlantic on one hand, they're not being as respected, and Tennessee on the other hand, they feel like because Ziegler went out, they can go far. But I have a good feeling about Tennessee moving on to the next round. Hell, they even have a chance to even go as far as the Final Four. So if they play their cards right and stay with their act together. So I have Tennessee winning this game, but I don't see it like a lot of people are saying it, that Tennessee is going to crush Florida Atlantic. I don't see that happening, but I see Tennessee winning this game by at least 7 points, I'll say, a respectable 7-point lead.
I agree with you. I think a lot of people are kind of looking at the Tennessee Florida Atlantic matchup like, oh, this is just a little small school. But you're right. They had 33 wins, only 3 losses. They topped their conference. So I think Tennessee needs to be careful about over exaggerating the aspects of Florida Atlantic. So I think Tennessee had a great game against Duke, even though you clearly see I'm a Duke fan. But they still need to be mindful of a small school from South Florida. So I see Florida Atlantic staying in it. It could get away from them real quickly. So they're going to try and need to hit the boards. They're going to try to need to box out. They're going to need these second chance points. They're going to need to be careful on the fouls. I see Tennessee winning it, but I see Florida Atlantic being very close in this game. I really want this game to be close. I don't want it to be a blowout, but I think Florida Atlantic can prove that they made it to the tournament, so they can play against these other big schools, if you will. So I see Tennessee putting up maybe about 68 points. But I see Florida Atlantic keeping it close and making it a good game to watch. So I see Tennessee taking it by about 5. Florida Atlantic isn't going to go down easy. They are not going to go down easy.
Last but not least, Gonzaga, number 3. Gonzaga versus number 2, UCLA. Avery, as you know, this is a rematch from the Final Four 2 years ago. And you know what happened there? Jalen Suggs broke UCLA's heart. I feel that this is revenge time for UCLA. It's the 8th straight Sweet 16 appearance for Gonzaga. This is the 3rd straight for UCLA. But many of us are looking at Gonzaga and asking them, what are you going to do now? What have you done? Are you finally going to answer the bell? As much as I want Gonzaga to win this game, and I really want them to go all the way, but I'm going to pick UCLA winning by 2. Go ahead.
I agree with you, Miguel. This game, I want it to be a nail biter. You're right. I believe this game should be close in the first half, you know, with both teams trying to figure out where they stand. Coming out of the second half, I see it being a back and forth matchup. I think UCLA's win over Northwestern in the second round, it kind of cemented a little bit of letting off the pressure, if you will. UCLA, another storied basketball school. Gonzaga, a lot of people still see them as Cinderella, still, you know, wearing the slipper, even though this is, you know, their 8th straight time in the Sweet 16. But Gonzaga still wants to prove themselves. Gonzaga wants to prove they are a college basketball force. ESPN has UCA winning this at 65%. But I see this being close. I see the Bulldogs of Gonzaga taking it to UCLA. I see UCLA trying to answer with their bench. I see UCLA trying to answer from downtown. I really see this game being close, especially because UCLA maybe wants a little bit of payback. So I also see this game maybe being a little bit physical as well, and that's okay. As if you're playing a real physical game, if you're on the boards, if you're scrapping for second points, I'd like to see that. So I again see this as a very close game. I too am going to go with Gonzaga, but barely. I see Gonzaga taking this by about 2 points. I see this being maybe like a 65-63 score. I see it real close. I say of the games on Thursday, this could be the most intriguing matchup. But I'm going to choose Gonzaga on this one. But either way, I think this game is going to be the game to watch, especially in Las Vegas.